All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rekakwadash. Double honor to my apostles and elders at Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. And peace and salutations to all you Akim out there pushing this truth across the four winds so we can seal the elect and make it to the kingdom. All right, it's the brother Uriah, Lord willing, coming back to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Lord willing to feed the body and edify the sheep in all spirit, faith, truth, sincerity, and doctrine. All right. And as you can see with the title, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we are back with another reality check. All right. Because prophecy is reality and reality is prophecy. Okay. And you people are soon about to realize that if you haven't already. All right. So with today's title, all right, 6G, AI, digital currency, and the CHARAGMA. Okay. I wanted to title it 2026G. All right. But we have to add in AI, digital currency, and also, of course, by prophecy, the charagma, okay, which goes back, which is the Greek word, okay, of Mark, the word Mark in Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. All right. So, because it's all connected, man. All right. And we're about to show that. Okay. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the body and it feeds the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, but first, let me play this video. Check this out.
I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. So we're into 6G now. I just finished 5G. I was a leader on 5G getting that done. And now they're up to 6.
Let's do it again.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
This is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. We need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin.
What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin?
The future Stalins of the 21st century, they could be watching the minds, the brains of all the population all the time, and also they will have the computing power to analyze all that.
What's that gonna let you get deeper into someone's skin? Ha ha ha. I'm telling you, the con is on, and this is the devil's game. These things are really here. It's like Solomon when he thought he could toy around with other gods, and he found out things the hard way. This technology will be used for evil. It'll be presented to you as the greatest thing since sliced bread, but you have to take everything they say and invert it. And if you're not fully grounded in the Word of God, which is Jesus Christ, you're not going to have the discernment to see through the lies, because they are becoming indistinguishable from truth to the world. And this man is conning the world into the beast system.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
You need to get things squared away.
All right, so as you can hear, just X out the Smeeza Smice, title, all right, and replace it with the true name of the Heavenly Father's only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Okay, Yahweh Shai. All right, but everything else is on point. You heard Trump. You heard what he said. Let me make sure it was okay. Cool. All right, but you heard Trump. And he was speaking about 6G. What is that? Something is going to be able to look up under people's skin. Now, why would he say that? Why would he say that, man? People might say, oh, man, that's a conspiracy theory. And he was just talking and babbling. And then, nah. Okay. Everything that this devil does is coordinated. Okay. Because why did he say that on camera? Okay. As you can see, this is Fox News. Why did he say that on camera? Okay. And then you heard Yuval Harari, pretty much expound on it. Look, if you don't see that the RFID chip, okay, is the mark of the beast that's spoken about and prophesied about in the book of Revelation chapter 13, then I don't know what to tell you, man. All right, you're going to take the chip, all right, and you will be destroyed, okay, by the Heavenly Father, all right, through his Son. So, I mean, that's their plans, man. That's why I wanted to call it 2026 G. All right, the title of this lesson. All right, but I had to add the charagma, digital currency, and etc. Let me bring this out. I brought this out at camp through the Spirit. All right, and I wanted to bring this out in this lesson. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1 through 4. Okay, in the message version, okay, the MSG version of the Bible. Okay, it says, "Doomed to you." All right, doomed to you who legislate evil. Okay, now who only has the power to legislate or make laws? All right, that are made for evil. Okay, the only people that have power to even legislate or a law, okay, or mandate a law is Esau Edom, man. All right, the wicked. All right, why? Because they're in power. Okay, can't none of us go and make a law and everybody has to abide by it. No, it says doomed to you who legislate evil. Okay, who make laws that make victims. Okay, because ultimately, man, when they push out this RFID hip, this charagma, this mark of the beast, all right, it's going to bring a lot of hell to a lot of people. Okay, but they're going to present this to you, all right, after they had already put you through hell. Okay, all right, no lights, no water, no food, no protection. All right, you want to get everything back to the way it was? Take this chip, and people are going to run to it, man. People are gonna beg for it, man. All right, but then once you take it, you're going to be instantly a victim. Okay, because you will be punished by the Heavenly Father through His Son Yahweh Shai. Okay, judgment will come to you. It says laws that make misery for the poor. Well, the poor are the Lord's people, man, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native and Seminole Indians, that rob my destitute people of dignity. See, that's why the Lord said, my destitute people. Okay, the Lord's people, the poor are the Israelites. Okay, it says exploiting defenseless widows, taking advantage of homeless children. What will you have to say on Judgment Day? You see, talking about the wicked. When doomsday arrives out of the blue, who will get you it's like who will get to help you? All right, it says, what good will your money do for you? Okay, all right. So this is all directed towards the wicked. All right, Esau Edom, man. Okay, all right, but he legislates evil. Okay, all right, and he makes laws that makes victims. Okay, now speaking of law, this is from the whitehouse.org website. All right, straight from the White House. All right, it says, look, it says presidential actions. Okay, and notice it says 6G. Okay, it says winning the 6G race. Now, why is people racing towards 6G? All right, why is the world and every nation in the world racing towards 6G? Well, we're going to get down to that. Okay, and this was published December 19th, 2025, this year. Okay, but I want to read this section 1 purpose. Okay, it says the next generation of mobile communications network 6G will be fundamental to the national security, foreign policy, and economic prosperity of the United States. See, all right. It says this technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, AI, right? Robotics, all right. That's what they're going to use to cancel out a lot of people from jobs. Okay, a lot of people are going to be a lot more people, excuse me, because a lot of people don't have jobs already, but a lot of more people jobs will be replaced by robotics and AI. Okay, it says and implantable technology. You see that right there? Implantable technology. You see, implantable into what? Into your body. Okay, biometrics, man, biotechnology. Okay, into your flesh, implantable technologies, man. All right, let's get this straight to the point. Revelation chapter 13, verse 15, and it reads, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Okay, you're going to be cut off from society, man. You're going to be separated. all right, severed from society. You're not going to be able to live, okay, if you don't get down with this image, okay? And that image is that way of life, okay? He doesn't have to put a gun to your head and force you to take his mark, okay? All he has to do is just change the infrastructure, all right, around you. You see, where that you're not going to be able to live in the outside world without getting down with his image, all right, by taking his mark. It says, verse 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, the whole spectrum of everybody on the planet, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay. Now go into that word mark. All right. The Greek word charagma. All right. A stamp and imprinted mark. Right. You go into the root word for the word charagma. All right. It's the Greek word charax. Okay. Charax. All right. Which also means a pale, a stake, a palisade. Okay. All right. So this is something that's going to be, look, to sharpen to a point. You see, this is going to be something that's going to be put in, a needle. All right. Pierced underneath your skin. All right. And placed underneath your skin. You see, which we know that it's the RFID hit, man. It's just simple and plain, man. Okay. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, saith he that had the mark or the charagma or the RFID chip, or the name of the beast or the number of his name. See? So that's why they're pushing towards this racing towards this 6G. All right. So that this right here can happen. Okay. So that they can what's the word I'm looking for? So that they can heal their financial markets, right? Because it's all in the shits now, right? Because it's still backed by the dollar and the military. Okay. And the dollar is dying. All right. So many countries, so many key countries are dropping the dollar. All right. So the dollar isn't worth anything. All right. And going into 2026, the dollar isn't going to be worth crap. All right. The paper that is printed on is going to be worth more than the actual currency. Okay. And most importantly, this implantable technology. Okay. Now I asked the chat. All right. Chat GPT right here briefly. Why are nations racing towards 6G? Okay, it says nations are racing towards 6G because it promises major strategic, economic, and security advantages. See, and this is what America wants, man. Right? It says technological leadership. 6G could deliver terabyte per second speeds, ultra low latency, and native AI integration. See, enabling breakthroughs in AI, holography, digital twins, and advanced automation. Okay. Also, it says economic power. Okay, national security and geopolitical influence. Okay, it says whoever shapes 6G standards gains leverage over global networks and dependent nations. See, all right, and guess what? America wants to be back on top again, man, because economically, right now, uh, America is not on top. Okay, so that's why everybody's racing towards it. Okay. I also asked the question briefly, what's the connection between 6G, artificial intelligence, and digital currency? All right. The response is 6G, AI, and digital currency are interconnected as a single digital ecosystem, a single digital ecosystem, which means they're all connected, man. This is a body. Okay. This is a body of work right here. Okay. 6G provides ultra fast. Well, we just read that. AI, look, well, matter of fact, Salaka, let me read this. 6G provides an ultra fast, ultra reliable connectivity that allows real time data exchange everywhere, devices, cities, space, and oh, come on now, bodies. Bodies. Come on now. Now, how could they connect to people's bodies? Through that chip. We're going to get to that. It says also AI uses that constant data flow from 6G to analyze, predict, automate, and control systems instantly. See that? It says digital currency, CBDCs or tokens, all right, enables programmable instant payments with those AI driven systems. So all of this is one body, it's one single digital ecosystem. You see, they're all connected, man. All right. Now I asked one more question here briefly. Can RFID chips be connected? Connected to what? This body, okay? The 6G AI and digital currency. All right. It says yes, but with limits. Okay. It says passive RFID chips are not directly connected to networks. They only respond when scanned by a reader. You see, it says active or semi-active RFID chips can be connected indirectly through readers that link to database, cloud systems, or the internet. So that's why they need 6G. Okay, that's why they need 6G. Think about it. If you're, I don't know, wherever you live, right, and you have let's say, hopefully you don't, but let's say that you have the chip. Okay, you have the RFID chip within your right hand, right? You need to go buy food, okay? But your chip is not, but while you're at home, your chip is not connected to the system, okay? But by the time you walk toward that marketplace that you're going to go shop for food, okay, it's going to be a 6G tower there, okay, connected with the AI and the digital currency payment readers, okay. And by the time you walk into that establishment, that grocery store, your chip is going to be connected because you're in range. You see, now all of your identity, healthcare, your banking, information, everything is going to be right there, and you can be able to pay for it. See, that's how it's connected. You see, I don't know how you people can't see that, man. Well, I know how. The Lord blinded you, man. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11, and it reads, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Okay, so this is Esau's inward thought. Okay, he believes that with this, this race towards 6G and this, this global dominance, okay, becoming the global power and ruling over all the nations is going to, push forward and continue his rulership. It's not. Okay, remember, as it is written in the scriptures, the Lord set bounds that he cannot pass. Okay, every kingdom has a certain amount of time to rule. Okay, and America is at that threshold of every kingdom as far as the time length of its survival. Okay, which is 250 years on average. Okay, 250 years is what 2026. Okay, America will be independent or established for 250 years. You see, Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. Okay, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. So this is their inward thought. Okay, but as it is also written, why do the heathen rage? Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? Okay, it's vain, it's empty. Okay, it's not going to happen. All right, Revelation 3 and verse 10, red letter, so you know who's speaking, Yahweh Shai. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Okay, that hour of temptation is that worldwide implementation of that charagma, man, that mark of the beast spoken about in Revelation chapter 13. Okay, now, but the Lord's going to keep his elect from that, man. Okay, he's gonna keep us, edified. He's gonna keep us faith, faith driven. Okay, even unto death, we're not gonna take it. Yahweh Ratazah, we be of that number. The elect is not gonna take that mark, man. Okay, even if they have to be homeless or be without a woman, be without money, be without their families, you know, whatever the case may be, man. All right. Our obedience and our loyalty is more so towards the Lord than this world, man. Okay. Also, Googled how many mega data centers are there? Okay. How many mega data centers are there? Because that's connected with the 6G, man. Okay. As we read, you know, here on Chat GPT. Okay. 6G AI and digital currencies, all right, are interconnected as a single digital ecosystem. Okay. Notice it says digital. Everything's getting digital, man. Okay. And you have to have these data centers, man. Okay, to help power AI and you know swing around information. Okay, for these chips and you know this whole digital ecosystem. Okay, but it says while mega data center isn't a strictly defined term, it says focusing on hyperscale. All right, huge. Excuse me. Excuse me. It's a hyperscale, huge cloud providers like you know blah blah blah, AWS, Google, Microsoft shows over 1,000 globally. So 1,000 global mega data centers, man. Okay. Look, it says Microsoft. Matter of fact, I think I had this that. Yep, right here. This is from www.datacenterdynamics.com. Okay, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google. Okay, these are all companies that support the RFID chip, man. Okay, and the whole payment scanning, you know, biotechnology system. Okay, it says Microsoft, Amazon, and Google operate half of the world's 600 hyperscale data centers, man. Okay, all owned by these guys. Okay, and these guys are all have seats at the Palantir table. Okay, Palantir. Keep that in mind. All right. I also want to grab this here. This is from Google. I mean, IG. Okay, it says this is Amazon's. All right, remember Amazon's on this list, right? This is Amazon's new $11 billion massive data center campus in St. Joseph County, Indiana. Okay. That thing is massive. Look at the size of cars, and then look at all of this space for these data centers, man. $11 billion, man. $11 billion for one a massive data center, right? But just this past November, all right, they couldn't the left wing and right wing couldn't decide if they wanted to hand out payments for you to get food. Your food stamps was cut off. You see? But $11 billion for this campus, man. This data center campus. There you go. It shows you where the mindset of these people are. You see, they don't care about you eating. They don't care about none of that, man. They want to, they need to eat. Okay. And when I say eat, I mean, you know, they need to push towards their goal. Okay. Now, let me also play this video here. It says the entire financial system has just flipped. While everybody was distracted, this is what happened.
So while we were all distracted with the Epstein files, the entire financial system just flipped. Like now. That's because the DTCC, the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, just made the biggest move of the 21st century.
At a pace to tokenize real-world assets. And if you think about assets as software, it's natural for the industry to begin to look at blockchain as the next generation of software to carry assets, and they could.
The president and CEO of the DTCC, Frank LaSala, has just announced the green light from the SEC to tokenize everything. And if you guys have no idea who the DTCC is, let me walk this down. So they are the back office for the stock exchange, and let me give you an idea of how major this is. So their settlement and transaction volumes is $3.7 quadrillion per year. And yes, that's 15 zeros. Now, what does this all mean for the future of finance? And more importantly, what does this mean for you? This means real-world assets like gold, silver, real estate, cars will all be represented on blockchain through tokenization. Now, what tokenization is fractionalized ownership and investments. So for example, say you wanted to sell 20% of your house instead of 100% of your house, you can do so through blockchain, purchasing it with crypto. Now here's another telltale sign that things are changing rapidly, because silver has just become the third largest asset on earth, coming in at over $4.4 trillion evaluation. Now silver has hit an all-time high over 5 times just this month alone, but that's not all. Gold, oil, copper, platinum, and palladium have all surged as well. Now, what was that little thing that where assets are represented on blockchain? Oh yeah, tokenization. And let's not forget, the US has just launched a airstrike on Nigeria and all these other countries, bringing us on the brink of war. And what's that little asset that they actually use during war? Silver. Silver is what they use for satellites and tanks, submarines, fighter jets, Tomahawk cruiser missiles, AI data centers, and wiring, you name it. Make sure you guys get into my Telegram where I have more information on tokenization. Also, hit up my YouTube, The Maverick Approach, but let me know what you guys think about all this down below. So
yeah, tokenization, man. All right, I had I gave out my spiritual theory on a past lesson. All right, and I'll say it again. I believe that what we're moving towards, all right, well, what America is moving towards, all right, is no more ownership. Nobody's gonna own anything, all right, not even the illusion that you own it, okay, because there's a lot of that. You think you own something, you really don't, but it's not even gonna be an illusion, all right. You're not gonna own anything. Everything's gonna be rented to you. Okay, your license, you're gonna have to subscribe to having your license for the next 3 months. You have to subscribe to driving a car and having a license. Having health care, having this or that or whatever. It ain't gonna be no a yearly payment. No. Everything's gonna be a monthly payments. Monthly payments, monthly rental payments. So not just 1 month, but we'll give you the next here. If you pay this, you can be able to drive for the next 3 months. Think about how you rent a movie, for 3 days. It's gonna come down to that, man. All right, I believe. All right, but let's and that goes back to tokenization. Okay, I'll do a separate lesson on that. All right, but like the guy said, all right, while everybody was distracted. Okay, this is what happened. This is what your president said. Okay, Trump himself. This is from peoplemagazine.com. All right, it says Donald Trump rants about Mike Epps. You see the name there. I'm not going to say it. All right. Donald Trump rants about Mike Epps, Democrats, as he threatens Americans. All right, threatens Americans to enjoy what may be their last Merry Christmas. This isn't tabloids. This isn't a speculation. Or no, he said that. He said that. This is just one article. Okay, you can look it up yourself. All right. So while you people are trying to have a Merry Christmas and gather with family and still try to keep on that, delusional, witchcraft idea of having a good time and this is gonna be your last Merry Christmas, man. And Lord willing, he's right. Okay. Let me get this and we'll close it out. All right. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 10. And it reads, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast. All right. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Okay. So the tender mercies of the wicked, anything this man does right. All right. in the eyes of the world, all right, there's always some wicked, twisted, all right, perverted plan behind it, man. Okay. That's only going to benefit himself. Okay. But it's also going to hurt and damage the people, man. All right. And just for this, let this, enjoy, your last Merry Christmas. Check this out. 144, 1442 comments right there. There you go. There's a sign. All right. So I'm gonna end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying to the body and it fed the sheep through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, Shalom, and Abba Ball.